afternoon, everyone. Frank Menard here from the Menard Team Coaching. Hey, today I just wanted to bring a message to you. I always believe in presenting messages of thoughts and things that pop into my mind each week as I go through the week. And several days this past week, a lesson I learned probably back around 2006, 2007, as I was going through the worst real estate market in history, and I had to find a way to overcome, to adapt, and to be able to be successful in my real estate career. And it was at that time that I hired a coach. In fact, I will always like to give credit where credit is due. In 2006, I hired Brian Buffini, Buffini and Company, which is based out of Carlsbad, California. Probably one of the best real estate coaching companies that I have ever been introduced to. So the market was crashing, and I hired Brian, or one of his coaches, to help me through what I was going through. And one of the first lessons I learned was to be aware of where you are. And Brian used to teach, I call it the four S's, different levels of financial positioning in your business or in your life. And there were four different levels. The first one was survival, and in survival, you're just not making enough money. You're barely making enough money to make ends meet. You're constantly looking for a way to earn extra income, just to try to stay above water. So survival was the very lowest stage that you could be at. The next level was stability. And when you reach stability, you're actually earning enough money to pay the bills, but there's really not enough left over after that's done. You've got a decent job, income's coming in, but you're not really, you can't really enjoy much other than work because you just don't have anything left over. The next level was success. And when you've reached success, you've actually reached a level where you have a very steady income. You're making more than enough money to pay the bills. You do have some left over, maybe to be able to invest, to maybe enjoy a vacation. So success, has a lot of different definitions for each and every one of us. I think we all agree that success means something different to all of us. But in this lesson, success means you're making a little bit more than what you need, and you're able to invest, and maybe not only invest financially, but invest in your personal development to be able to reach a different stage. And then the last stage was significance. And what significance meant in the lesson that I was learning was that you're making more than enough money. Perhaps you don't have any debt anymore, and you can actually start to give back or focus your attention on helping others. I'm reflecting back to a time when things were tough. My wife and I were both full-time real estate agents, and it's like somebody all of a sudden flipped a switch in 2006, and the business was gone. We had 2 car payments, 2 mortgage payments, and 2 kids in college. So we had to find a way to kind of make it work. And understanding the lesson that Brian was teaching was, before you can make progress, you need to understand where you are. And once you understand where you are, and at that stage, I'm going to say we were probably at stability. We had some income, I had a retirement income coming in from the Marine Corps, but we didn't have a lot left over, and we were concerned that we wouldn't even have that if the market continued to crash, which it did for several years. So understanding where we were, and then creating a plan to get to the next level. Whether that be creating a budget, limiting your expenses, only focusing money where money was going to give you a good return on investment, so you didn't spend anything unnecessarily. Identifying where you are, what's the next level, and then what's your plan to get there. So through that process, obviously Brian helped me learn a lot about planning and setting goals. But there's one tool that I use all the time, which I learned from Gary Keller in the book, The One Thing. And it's called the GPS: Goals, Priorities, and Strategies. So that one-page tool actually created like a one-page business plan, or you could call it a one-page goal achievement plan. And you start out with, okay, what's the major purpose? So that fits right in line with what I talk about when it comes to Napoleon Hill, definite purpose. So back in those days, it was perhaps to earn $100,000. Once I identified what that goal was, I would then go down and identify maybe 3 priorities in my business that I could focus on to help me achieve that income goal. So what that might have meant is, okay, so lead generation might have been priority number one. I've got to find more people that need my services. Level two might have been upping my game in regard to personal education, becoming better and more experienced at what I was doing so I could provide a higher value. So what would, maybe that would be attending a class or several classes and continuing education, or learning how to sell better, practicing my scripts, doing those types of things. And then whatever that third priority might be. So the bottom line is you want to identify at least 2 to 3 priorities where you can focus your efforts in your business. And then below that is strategy. So goals, priorities, strategies. So strategies, I interpret that as action steps, because no plan is worth anything unless you actually take action. So taking the action steps that are necessary to get you to where you want to go on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. So at the end of the day, uh, identify where you are. Are you in survival mode? Are you stable? Have you reached a certain level of success? Or are you at the stage of significance where you can now focus on giving and helping others? Regardless of what stage you're at, have a plan to get to the next level. And that plan, I recommend, is a GPS. And if anyone would like a copy of the GPS that I use, I'd be more than happy to send you a copy. Just actually, I'll put it down in the comments below, and you'll be able to click a link to be able to get to that. I found it to be a very useful tool, and I hope you do too. So today, identify where you are, identify where you want to go, and then make a plan to get there. That's my message. If you did like this message, please hit like, share it with somebody who could be useful for, or subscribe to receive my future videos. I thank you so much for your time today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic May. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.